Hey, so I'm back with another video today about the 3 archetypes of classes in World of Warcraft. So if you're a new player, maybe a returning player from a number of expansions ago, and you're not sure the type of character that you want to roll, and you just want a quick overview of the different kinds that are there, and so that you make the right choice. You know, if you're a person who you don't want to make the wrong choice, you know, you don't want to level a character and then realize this is not the character for me. So before I get started, please do like the video, subscribe, leave a comment down below, you know, if it helped you, if you found this video informative, and from there, let's go. There are 3 main archetypes of classes in World of Warcraft. You have tanks, DPS, healer. Within those 3, there are basically just melee tanks. There is melee DPS and ranged DPS, and then there's healer. Almost every class can do more than one thing. Actually, every class can do more than one thing. Some classes can tank and DPS. Some classes can tank, DPS, and heal. Some classes can DPS and heal. Before you pick a class, you don't have to worry, oh, if I pick this class, I can only ever tank, or I can only ever heal. That's not the case. The one thing I would stress is that patch to patch in World of Warcraft, it does change as to which class is the best parsing DPS or healer or tank. So I wouldn't look at data from right now and say that, okay, a warrior is always going to be the best tank, or a rogue or a shaman is always going to be the best DPS. One of the key factors that I would take into consideration when choosing a class is, what kind of character do you like to play? If you like to play a melee damage dealer, you always like to be in the action, you always like to be moving your character around, you need that kind of feel of being right in there, of hitting your opponent in the face, that would be something to consider. If you are a person who likes to be doing range DPS, likes to be more at the back, kind of checking the situation out, that's something to consider. If you always like to heal, then pick one of the healing classes and you'll be set. Now, once you have that kind of in your head of you like to be a melee DPS or a range DPS or just a melee character in general, so you pick, let's say you pick a warrior or a paladin, maybe a rogue, something like that. What I would do is I would log in, just make a level 1, log in, go down to collections in the lower right hand corner bars, and I would look at what the gear looks like. Because in World of Warcraft, I think you'll find that a lot of the fun in the game is getting to transmog your gear, customize it to get a specific, if you want a badass look, or if you want a holy, lights around you, or you want blue or whatever. The game provides an immense amount of customization when it comes to your class look. So I would make a level 1 if you're considering between a warrior and a paladin. I would make a level 1 of each. I would go down to collections and I would just take 5 minutes and I would scroll through the vast array of armor and weapons that you can equip. Take a look. To be honest, that is, I think, one of the most defining factors about which class to pick. Once you have figured out if you want to be melee, ranged, a tank mostly, a healer mostly, the next thing is look. Seriously, it's look. I mean, I can't understate this enough. If you end up making a priest and you find out once you're level 120 or 60 in Shadowlands that you hate the look of cloth, I mean, leveling a new character is not a total waste of time or not too excruciating, but I think you would find you'd be a little bit upset with yourself. So take a look at what the characters look like and then figure out from there. And then you'll be able to narrow it down. Maybe it's warrior, maybe it's paladin, maybe it's a druid. Maybe you like the idea of shape-shifting, so you jump at the druid. Maybe you like wearing mail. It's a hunter, shaman. You just experiment with the look. I think that's a very important factor when it comes to how to choose your class in World of Warcraft. So I'll have a list of all the different classes that can do the different things. So you'll have an easy to see list. It'll show you right away which classes are, melee DPS, which classes are tanks, which classes are healers, and which can do the different ones. I don't think a good barometer to which class you should pick if you're considering PvP would be to look at the current PvP data. There's a lot of corruption going on. There's a lot of PvEers just jumping into PvP and really rolling them with the crazy amount of corruption they have and different abilities. Stick to a class that you like and know that you will be able to do anything in the game that you wish with whichever class you pick. So don't be scared that if you pick a hunter, it's not going to build a PvP. I mean, that's not the case. Most classes have 3 viable builds for the spec they want, whether it be PvP, PvE, tanking, healing, DPS. Once you pick a class, you can rest assured that you will be able to do anything in the game that you wish. Some classes do have certain things easier, some specs have certain things easier, but in general, it is pretty even. You will find that from patch to patch, maybe a monk brewmaster is a better healer right now. Shaman healer is better in PvP. Maybe a paladin tank is better. The way gear and itemization lines up, it just out-tanks other classes. You have to sort of get it out of your head that if I pick a warrior, I'm always going to be the best tank. Now that may be the case, it might be, but it also might be a 6 month, 9 month, a year period where a druid or a demon hunter tank is better for the current content and the way that it's set up. So just pick a class that you think you're going to like, whether it be melee DPS, tanking, range DPS, healing. Those are the key factors into picking a class that you're going to like and be successful with. For me, a tertiary thing to consider would be RP or role playing. If you're a person that likes to get in depth and feel yourself in the character, definitely consider that. If you are a person in life that you consider likes to help people and heal and things like that, pick a healer. This is probably going to be more about the race you pick to get yourself kind of more in the RP factor. And again, race is something that you can pay to change in game, and that is generally only if you're pushing the edge of PvE content and a new race, or the way they've reworked a race's racial comes out to be miles ahead of the others, and you just pay to change it, raid that way, and then change back or what have you after. So those are the things that I would consider if I was going to pick a new class. It's the things that I consider every time I make a new character. Me personally, I pretty much exclusively play melee. I'm currently wading into tanking. Another thing to consider when you're picking your class is if you're going to be a person who wants to play in dungeons, play in arena, play in raiding. DPS is always oversaturated in pretty much every form of content. Healers are always sought after. You get bonuses when you do Dungeon Finder and Raid Finder. They are also hard to come by in PvE or PvP rather. If you get really good at healing in PvP situations, it's definitely a valuable skill. Tanks are also extremely sought after in PvE content, whether random Dungeon Finder, looking for raid, or if you're looking to get more serious into a raiding guild, tanks are usually harder to come by. It takes more work. You have to be responsible for a little bit more, but it does come with an easier time at finding groups. And don't worry, the way WoW is set up now is that your gear switches over from tanking to DPS once you switch spec in a major city. So there's a lot less worrying about having the right gear for the right situation. So, if you pick a warrior and you want to DPS lots and then you decide, well, I'm not really finding a group, I want a tank, you just switch your spec over and your gear sort of itemizes itself back to tanking. There are corner cases, of course. If you are pushing the edge of the content, you are going to have a little bit different itemization. But for the most part, if you're just doing dungeons and you want to just roll them, you can just switch to a tank and you'll be good. So if you like the video, if it helps you, please do subscribe, like the channel, leave a comment below, let me know if it helped you, let me know if you what class you picked, and I will be having more videos in the future, not so much in depth on the minutia of each class, because there are tons of videos out there with people that already do that. Marcelian is really good, and there's a number of others. I'm gonna focus more on if you pick a Death Knight, what do you get? If you pick a paladin, what do you get? Those types of things. So please do keep checking back. I do a video every week right now. I'm looking to get it more, but I'm busy. So once again, please do like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.